Today I'm just beside myself because I have a blaster that I'm so happy to get in my hands. But you might be thinking, well, okay, yeah, it's another rival blaster. What's so special about that? In today's video, I'm gonna explain why this is such a big deal for the 3D printed Nerf space. So let's go ahead and jump into today's video, the DrFlux Juno. Now for me personally, Rival is the reason why there's even a channel to begin with. And let me explain what I mean. Now the blaster that got this full-grown adult playing with kids' toys is the Nerf Rival Nemesis. I found a Nemesis at my local thrift store for $14, and I said to myself, well, that's a cool looking toy. I might as well just pick it up and take a look at it. So I brought it home, threw some batteries in it, paid way too much money for a pack of Nerf Rival rounds, threw them into the blaster, and let them spew across my house. I was just blown away as to the development of Nerf blasters from when I was a kid in the 90s to today. Now, as many of you know, after playing with the Nemesis for a bit, the batteries wore out. And so then I'm like, oh, well, that stinks, because those batteries were not cheap. So I turned to the internet to see, hey, is there any way I can make this thing rechargeable and just keep having fun with it? Sure enough, I stumbled across countless modding videos, and then I realized, wow, there's an actual community centered around modifying Nerf blasters. What does all this have to do with the Juno? Well, the Juno is the latest in a long lineage of added darts flywheel blasters that shoot Rival. Now, at the time when I found that Nerf Rival Nemesis, the blaster on the market that I was completely beside myself, like I need to get this thing, it looks amazing. Number one, I come from a 3D printing background. Number two, I love the Rival blasters, was the Added Darts Jupiter. Now the files for the Jupiter were not available to everyone. I know why Added Darts did it, but at the time I was just really bummed out. I wish I could go download some files and print something like this. But unfortunately, you just couldn't. Fast forward to 2023, Added Darts launches the Juno. And guess what? These files are available. If you have a 3D printer, you can go ahead and print this. Go buy a hardware kit from Added Darts. If you'd like to support the DrFlux channel, use the official DrFlux Added Darts affiliate link and grab yourself a hardware kit and then print this thing up. Really exciting to have something in your hands that, you know, you printed and built. There's nothing like it. It's one of my favorite things for this hobby. So let's run down a few of the things that are different about the Juno versus the Jupiter. Now, first off, you can tell it is a much bigger blaster, and it's bigger because of some key things. Now, the story behind this is Added Darts actually ran polls and took some feedback from the community to see how they're going to design the Jupiter 2.0. Many people asked for more battery compartment, a bigger battery compartment. They wanted to throw all kinds of batteries in this thing. Now I have to make a note here. This is the largest 3S LiPo I own. Look at the size of that battery tray. It actually can hold it. Now don't get me wrong, it is a tight fit, but that's an all-day battery if you ask me. Another huge concern was making the files available to print, which we all know you can grab these and print it. Inside the Juno, we have Krakens with some new custom flywheels that actually can shoot Rival and Mega. When you look at the file set for the Juno, there's all kinds of options. Options like the sling point on the bottom, or if you don't like the sling point, you can print it without it. You can do the proton pack adapter. You can put Picatinny on the sides or not. He's even got files for the different textures of the battery doors. This one is the hexagon one because the hexagons are the future. Another really cool thing about the Juno is in the file set, there is a proton pack adapter. I'm really happy to see this because I've always wanted to be able to print my own couplers. Proton packs are just a ton of fun because they have high capacity. And now with the Juno, this thing is just an awesome combo. That's insane. Let's take a look at mag compatibility. So we have several magazines here. We'll start with my personal favorite, the Worker Rival Mag. Here we have a knockoff magazine I found on Amazon. Here we have a magazine from the Nerf Rival Pathfinder. We have the traditional short Rival mag. Now we have a magazine from the Finisher. I'm starting to see a trend here. So I've noticed that there's one or two Rival rounds that are usually left over. And after building this and taking a look, I'm gonna have to say the pusher wheel is actually spaced a little bit far back, so a rival round can get stuck in the front and just kind of float around. This actually isn't really a big deal, especially if you're using a proton pack, but if you're really trying to conserve your shots, first off, don't use the Juno, probably use something else. The Juno is definitely a spray and pray option, but it's worth mentioning that you will have a round or two kind of left over. But all in all, I don't really see any compatibility issues. So if you can't tell, I'm really excited to get the Juno. I have a lot of projects I'm gonna do with this the nose system, which that's the last point I wanna talk about, is if you're looking to do a cosplay build, or maybe you're looking to do some type of build that you just wanna shove a proton pack in, similar to this build right here, this is a Doom BFG. And essentially, this is just a proton pack with a lot of extra steps and a lot of extra weight. But man, taking this thing to an event and running around with a BFG, nothing beats that. Here's another example. We know this is a Prometheus, but let's say you don't have a Prometheus. The front end of this blaster is just some files I found online, and I've upscaled it and shoved it on the front of a Prometheus. The Jupiter makes projects like this much easier because the nose system is pretty much all one section. That's why I'm so excited, and I'm very thankful to Added Darts for making these files available, and just overall, just a great designed blaster. Let me know in the comment section if you agree. I know a lot of you out there actually don't like Rival. I get that a lot. Some people, Rival's just not their thing. My whole thing about Rival is I think there's a time and place for Rival. Nothing beats Rival in an indoor arena or in a close engagement type of battle. Rival just stands apart from the rest. Now, if you made it this far in the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Well, I'm DrFlux. I want to thank you for watching today's video. As always, be safe and happy foam flinging. And pro tip, this is probably the fastest and easiest way to load a magazine. Not bad.